and it was carried out, basically seat of the pants all the way. They blew it. They messed up many times, over and over and over and over again. A perfect example is Building 7. It's obvious now that Building 7 was supposed to have gone down in the clouds from the collapse of Towers 1 and 2. Then when the clouds cleared, they'd see, oh, look, Building 7 must have been hit by the debris too. It's down now. And they didn't have any idea how, Building 7 fell. But that's not what happened. Their explosives didn't go off. So they had to scramble. And we have, this testimony about Larry Silverstein getting on the horn. He knew that they were wired for controlled demolition. That was what the plan was. But they weren't going to let anybody know. But now the building's still standing and they still want to bring it down. Now they have the problem of PR. How do they get this, public to understand that, that building fell by itself? Well, that's not very easy. Let me get on the phone and see if I can talk the insurance company into controlled demolition, and then we'll use that excuse that we were just trying to save lives. Well, obviously that didn't work, and I just love the way Alex Jones goes through that little bit about, we're going to go with that. That was a great rant. I can't even begin to come close to it. But, that's how we get these little niches into this, into their armor. We find the chinks in their armor that way, and then we investigate a little further, and pretty soon we see these things that are so obvious. It reminded me, hearing Alex on that last cut, it reminded me of the story of the emperor that had no clothes. Well, it's a kind of a weird reversal of roles, but it's like, you've got all this evidence that you just find. They declassify reams of stuff that show the horrible involvement that we've done. All the time that we were doing it, we were telling ourselves that we were the best country in the world, the honest country that wouldn't do any of that stuff. And then we released 30, 40 years later the unclassified documents showing how vicious and terrible we were, more so than almost anyone else in the world, because we were the most powerful. So, folks have to wake up and realize that we have a vicious, terrible history of being the world's most dangerous terrorist group, because we terrorize the entire world. If you don't understand that by now, I'm not just being, hyperbolic. I'm being real. That's the way the rest of the world looks at us. They don't look at America as peace givers and, bringers of prosperity. Everywhere we go, we leave death. And who benefits? It's our multinational corporations, the guys on Wall Street. If you don't understand that this is a country that's by Wall Street, for Wall Street, and of Wall Street, if you don't understand that by now, you don't really understand very much. So it's not a big surprise that the Wall Street types would engineer this 9/11 crash, this 9/11 attack, to implement this biggest profit-grabbing venture that's ever happened in the history of crime. Billions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars have been transferred from the poor to the rich. You want to talk class. And then those people that call Obama a socialist, they are so stupid, I can't believe it. Obama is a what would you call it? A fascio-capitalist or something, a fascist capitalist. He works hand in hand with the corporations, using the might of the military to secure profits for the corporations. I guess we have a call. Do we have a call? I've been ranting so long. Go ahead, caller. Hello, caller.
I don't know if I'm on.
Oh, there you're on. Is that Jan? Hello, Jan.
This is Jan. I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I'm going to have to read lips, I guess.
You got to turn up that knob on the one column there. Or turn up the master. There you go.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
First of all,
you got too much volume in here, though.
I wish that young man that called was my son. But because I want to let him know it goes both ways. I want you to know that my kids took me to see that Michael Moore film, the first 911 film that came out.
Oh, yeah, Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yeah, and that brings me to my point. You know, the Burmese film that you recommended does a really good job of outlining things. And he did really talk about how these secret societies and everything, and how they've orchestrated the media, and how we've been brainwashed for so long. And I don't know why some of us woke up and some of us didn't. I don't know.
Invisible Empire that's played the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's playing right now, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah, right.
I turned it off.
You could turn over to that other channel and watch Burmese.
But no, don't.
Yeah, but don't.
Listen. This is important. It's the thing is, no, there's so much. It's so big. That's why they can't stand to see it. You are right. They're not stupid. They choose their stupidity because they can't handle the truth. And you know that movie Network. That's something I'm telling people to watch because
I love that rant that he goes through.
I mean, 74, 76. I mean, it's right on. But the thing is, once we wake them up, we sit down, we get them to digest the 10-minute version, and their eyes open up, and the first question they have is, what do we do? What do we do? And really,
the answer is you keep talking to everybody until everybody understands how criminal this small group was.
Right. Don't be a slave. Learn how not to be a slave.
And you know, I had a lot of interaction on the internet when I make comments to videos. Sometimes when I'm indulging myself, I guess, and I wind up just getting so frustrated. It's like it doesn't matter what you write or what you say. They're going to try to belittle it, twist it, or ignore it, whatever. But I'm being overcome with that kind of a cross between frustration and rage.
Yeah.
What the heck do you do? Over and over. I mean, now we've got Silverstein dead to rights. I mean, he tried to weasel out of the pullet by saying, oh, that just meant take the firemen out. And, you know, it was shown that they were out hours before that was ever said. And now with the eyewitness pinning him down, talking to his insurance agent about controlled demolition on 9/11, I mean, that just about puts the lie to the story without any other evidence necessary.
Right.
And, you know, if this was just an ordinary crime where somebody was conspiring to rob a bank and you got this type of evidence, do you think that would be enough to go looking at stuff? I mean, do you think that, or would the authorities just say, nah, you're just crazy?
No, they just shipped it all off to China. You know, all the evidence got hauled out of there.
There's still enough evidence around.
Yeah, I know that.
You know, remember I said that they were starting that 3-month campaign looking for little body parts all over Manhattan now?
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, you know, why don't we send some, I don't know, a team of people who notarize each other's actions or whatever, you know, to keep each other honest and collect dust samples from all over Manhattan and show that Stephen Jones and his group that discovered thermite and claim that there's thermate and thermite in every single bit of the Trade Center dust all over Manhattan wherever you look. You don't have to find it in a pile somewhere. It's everywhere. Tons and tons and tons of it, and that's residue from the explosives. That tons and tons and tons of explosives were in these buildings. And now the debunkers, they jump right on that. They say, tons, huh? You couldn't have put tons in there without somebody noticing.
Right.
Well, how about elevator mechanics taking boxes of supposed elevator parts in and out for 6 months of elevator renovations?
Absolutely, and all the dust those people endured and all that.
Anyway.
But, you know, and I want to know, see, when I hear about the media, I really start looking and feel like a paranoid old woman because what's up with this Michael Moore? And what's up with Amy Goodman, who won't talk about any of it? I mean, I think the CIA is in all media, even the alternative media. And, I mean, Monsanto is the foundation that the Food Inc. showed, and they were one of the sponsors. So, you know, I mean, the media cannot be trusted. This media can be trusted, and they're trying to take it away. So, you keep up the good work, and I really feel where you are in your. It's like you're on the